Do you know that only 2% of all the Toastmaster certificates are for CL, which is competent leadership? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, who chose the role for me? I still keep thinking how I ended up being a VP of PR. Is it really that I wanted to get into leadership program? Or is it, for me, more about doing what I like to do? Let's go backwards for a minute. This is 6 months ago, Barbara, or 8 months ago, Barbara was the president at that time. She was standing there and she asked, who wants to take these two roles? And there are two roles standing out there. One is VP PR, I have no clue what it means. The second one was, I think treasury. And I said to myself, I have two kids, my daughter Veda, who's here, as well as my son Rishi. They're pointing like this. Who is this guy? And then you have to also think about this, right? I am 6 months into the program. I'm very energetic at that point. I got all this feedback and everything so positive. So positive. So I'm in euphoria. I'm like on the top of the hill. And I said, what should I learn from one of these two things? And I choose VP PR. So I went back home. So they made me stood here. They said, he's the new VP PR. And everybody clapped. Again, I'm in the euphoria. I'm standing on top of the hill. I went back home. I took the book that Nick gave me. And it talks about the responsibilities of this role. Funny enough, none of them I never did. I have no clue where I should start, where I should end. But then I said, there is a lot to learn. There is a lot to learn. Remember, there is only 2% of the people who actually take CL. That's the fastest way to get CL. And I don't know why, still only 2% of the people do CL, right? So I came up with my own goals, but I was falling behind. You know why? Because at work, when I put these goals, it's very easy for me to go into motion because there is incentive. Here, there is no incentive. Then I really appreciated the other officers in our club. I really understood how much effort they're putting beyond what they're trying to do. Then I said to myself, if I have to learn, how can I do this differently? Because there is already setup that's done. Maxine, back in the day, created a notes that everybody needs to get in news, marketing. There is a website. There is our digital marketing, which is Facebook, Instagram. We didn't have Instagram, so I started creating that. And then I didn't never get the access to Facebook. That took me some time to figure that out. I got the video. I never, by the way, this is a gift that I got 10 years ago. I even did not take my picture of my kids. But this is the first time I started using it here. It's the best way to do it, because you can figure out how to even use that. Then I had a phone, which was broken, and then I had to buy a new phone, which was really good too. But what happened in this means is I'm learning myself these technologies. Even though I'm a techie guy, I never used them. I started figuring out how should I tell the story of our club. And here's the reason for that. The vision is simple. There's two things I have to get out of it. How can I bring quality members? Not any member. How do we bring quality members? And second, how do we retain them so they can bring the energy inside and tell the stories within us? Because the more different members and diversified members we have, these conversations will become that interesting. So I took pictures of every angle possible. Half the pictures were blurry. So I had to re-emphasize and do some painting. Again, now I'm learning these new things. Then I put them together in figuring out how should I lay out those to tell that story. Maybe I'll have speakers and then evaluators at the bottom. Then I started figuring out maybe I take the picture of every event put a music behind it so it feels like it's a fun place. By the way, it's a fun place. By now you would have known that, right? And then I try to figure out how can I bring this to the members so members can tell. Because one of the things that I learned in the officers meeting is back in the day, a member is to bring another member. That means the member has attachment to this other member who brought in the guest. There is always, so he never left. They never left because they wanted to make sure it came by an invitation. It was a privileged thing at that time, right? Even now, right? So what I'm trying to get out of it is, and if this is the one thing that I want from you guys, go to our ParkToastmasters Facebook page, like us, follow us, because remember, you are doing that invitation, you are bringing those new members. If even 3 people come in through you, the other 3 people learn from you. Like-minded people, diversified people are coming here. That's what we want. We want this to be a fun, learning experience. Thank you.